It can go both ways.
Yeah.
But back to the question. Do you think it would have been better if he didn't see through omnipotence and he just thought Naruto's alive? Or is it better to do the flip-flopped omnipotence nonsense that we got?
To answer that, I think it could have been better if he just would have, because that's automatically leading to, well, if let me finish my sentence. If he just would have tried to believe that Naruto wasn't dead instead of they switch positions, because that leaves more room for, like, ninja type of things. Even though it's kind of like coverty, with Shikamaru and Mitsuki they got going on right now, but like it leaves more room because Shikamaru has to think, okay, thinking of Boruto as Kawaki, we know he's been obsessed with Naruto, and it's been stated in part one, like as long as Naruto's safe for a way, like we can keep Kawaki in check as long as Naruto remains safe. So why would he kill Naruto? Like they should start taking some of his questions more, or some of his answers to the question more like direct and listening to what he's saying. But it would be more tricky because they're not gonna accept the fact that he's Boruto Uzumaki. So it would be more so focused on Naruto and Hinata's well-being. So I think that would make it more interesting and then more like, I don't know, I guess like big brained.
The other thing about it is, as it is, Shikamaru pretty clearly didn't think Naruto, or at least he was hanging on to hope that Naruto wasn't actually dead. That's why he didn't formally take the Hokage seat. He's acting as Hokage, but he didn't officially do it. Why? Because bro's waiting for Naruto to come back. So that means he, like, regardless of figuring out omnipotence, bro actually just thought this was the case anyway. So why not just use this as the plot point?
That's true. That's also true.
Yeah.
And then the other thing about this is this will just eliminate the whole Stardust and be like, oh, nobody ever believed me, and then Shikamaru just believes Amado, basically, and then all this. And then the thing with this chapter with Shikamaru forgetting omnipotence, that's not really the important part. The important part is that he trusted Boruto. You can just have him trust Boruto because he thinks Boruto knows more and he didn't actually kill Naruto. And like, what's wrong with that? Well, why does he need to the point is he's trusting Boruto. You just trust Boruto based off a different reason.
Yeah, find your own reason to trust Boruto. But I was gonna say they can literally bring that up as far as like the whole Naruto is alive thing, just based off of what Boruto said. They can work their way into that plot line for chapter 15, as far as like just as much as anything that they heard from Boruto throughout the interrogation, if we want to call that an interrogation, whatever they heard from him, as much as whatever information they got with what they can do with whatever they have at that point in time, they can act on, okay, he told us Naruto is alive. So like, let's figure like why would he say something like that, And I don't know how they can, because at this point, only person who said something like that would be Himawari without having anything external sources telling her that. So they would have to figure out a way to have Himawari's input, or Team 10 have Himawari's opinion that she shared with them. Like, yeah, well, Himawari kind of thinks, and now the fact that she suddenly has Kurama, and she was saying all this stuff before anybody knew she had Kurama, and they're like, well, we got to start thinking, is Naruto alive? All right, let's bring his kids in here, quote unquote kids. Let's bring Kawaki in. So it would have to be interesting to see how Kawaki would handle it.
Yeah, because there's also Jura mentioning how he's looking for Naruto, and they're like, wait, what? Why are you looking for Naruto? Isn't he dead? So if you pair that in with Himawari's words and all that stuff
too. Definitely going to relay that information too, yeah. Shikadai is going to tell them, like, they were looking for Naruto. They ended up searching for Himawari. We were practicing. Himawari said she felt like Naruto wasn't dead. I'm confused, guys. They can say that.
I think in terms of...
But what do you think, Oodie?
In terms of Kamui's question, all right. In terms of Kamui's question, so okay, Kamui, don't take this the wrong way, because here's my honest thoughts. I think so. First of all, I agree with you. Just gonna throw that out there. I agree with you. But the series would never in a million years actually do this. And the reason why, because it just wouldn't make sense. They would just explain it with a non-explanatory thing to debunk it, such as, oh, well, Shikamaru can't do that because that's physical evidence, and he would forget that. I don't care that it's not related to omnipotence, considering omnipotence just switches those two, Boruto and Kawaki. No, I already know. They would just explain it that way, anyways. You know they would, and that would just be the end of it. It wouldn't make sense. That's what they would do. So they just wouldn't ever do that, but they should, because it would work.
Okay. I definitely get what you're saying there. The only caveat would be, okay, then what about Himawari believing that Naruto's
they just
not
also
dead?
wouldn't
because
explain
I feel
it.
like that would go against that.
They
Unless
just
you
wouldn't
just think it would be
explain
a plot hole.
until the reason is that they're going to explain it that Sarada and Sumire are in love with Boruto, and love defaults to byproduct immune omnipotence. And so then Shikamaru doesn't love Naruto as much, and whatever other nonsense.
Right. That better not happen, but regardless, okay. You don't think they would actually do it, but obviously wouldn't actually do it because they didn't actually do it anyway. But to answer the question, yes, it would have been better, okay.
But if they did it, they wouldn't do it.
They would.
That wasn't the question.
I think we might go to the Sand Village next chapter, though. We might end up inside of the Sand Village next chapter. I don't know if
we better.
Flashback.
I hope so.
Yeah,
Get out of the village.
They should have done it somewhat in this chapter, in my opinion, but that's besides the point.
They shouldn't have shown the Shinju at all. They should just given Ryu his name last chapter, then just not had the Shinju. Like, have this be the transitionary arc to where we just don't get the Shinju for a chapter or two. That's fine. Maybe 3 or 4 if we're going to the Sand Village. We could actually explore the Sand Village for a while. And then we learn that Matsuri got Moegi's revenge 20 years later by beating up Konkoro and friends.
Yeah. I mean, I still think they should have ended the chapter with Kankuro saying, Gaara's been taken down, my nephew too, and Shikamaru goes, what? And that's the end of the chapter. And earlier in the chapter, remove, or at least highly condense the recap fluff, the first 16 pages where nothing happens, and insert a couple of mysterious panels showing the scene of disaster in the Sand Village. We don't need the answers. We just see like, whoa, what's going on in the Sand Village? What is this? You're asking the question that at the end of the chapter, Konko's like, yeah, bro, bad shit happened. I need your help. But he doesn't specify what happens. That's what I think they should have done.
Even if we see entirely new Shinju shenanigans, we see a not a soul thorn. We see a body leaf. It's a body leaf is attached to Gaara, and that's making him knocked out, and it's from the Shinju, and then that's a new property mechanic that they can explore. There you go. I don't know.
Well, I don't think they should show us, or at least in this chapter, they shouldn't have shown us what happened to Gaara.
No, not this chapter.
That's fine. But
yeah.
Okay.
What I'm saying is that
But getting back to the other question.
I was going to say that they should be asking questions rather than answering answers. The way to ask these questions would be paradoxically to show us the end result, but not how we got there. Why does that matter? Because the end result should be something new rather than something we've already seen. If we just see Gaara's in a tree, we already know not just the end result, but how we got there, because we've seen it happen multiple times.
Yeah, so like for an example, let's just say you see like what looks like, and so what this is, and as an idea, within the first 16 pages of nonsense in this chapter, you show some panels, maybe it looks like a couple houses were just like blown up. You see this battle disaster. You get some of that. Maybe you see some bodies on the ground and they look shriveled up, kind of like the Warlock Divine Tree people. So something different from the trees in this case. Maybe that's what happens when Matsuri absorbs fuel. We don't know. But just a hypothetical idea. You see like a shriveled up Baki. I don't want Baki to die, but let's just say that was him. And you're like, whoa, what happened? And so on and so forth. And you're showing us new things, but not how you got there. And then you get the revelation, hey, the Sand Village was attacked. Who attacked it? Was it Matsuri? Was it Mamushi? Was it Code? We don't know. We're left asking questions without... It's like, it's building anticipation rather than just out of nowhere giving us an answer.
Yeah, so, like, I think the easiest example of this would be actually just Obito Uchiha. They revealed that the Masked Man is Obito. That's showing the end result. Now we know it's Obito. And then they explore how we got there by showing Obito's entire backstory. It's a mystery that they answered before setting up. It's giving you the answer before the question. But really, the answer is the question in that case. So there you go.
Like, I mean, like with Obito, they did something well. First of all, they plant seeds of foreshadowing. So there's signs that it is Obito. Then you get the revelation that it is Obito, and then, like you said, then you get the explanation of how did Obito get to that point, and you can just apply that to this Shinju situation in the Sand Village. You have some piece of foreshadowing leading, like, okay, I think maybe the Shinju invaded the Sand Village. Then you see some of the end result of that. Maybe not all of it, but some of it. Then you get the explanation of what they did.
Honestly, imagine how cool it would have been if instead of getting the Shinki Shinju reveal as it is, we see it from like a tragic angle, like a third person bystander, to where Sarada's having her mission to the Sand Village. She gets there as the Shinki Shinju is tragically attacking whatever the target's going to be. Let's have it be Gaara. So we see like Gaara crying as he's fighting the Shinki Shinju, and that's our reveal to the Shinki Shinju. We just didn't know it was a thing before. Something like that could work.
The reveal for him was underwhelming initially, though.
I mean, it doesn't have to be with the Shinki Shinju. It could be with a different Shinju. Just say Tamari is fighting Gaara as a Shinju next chapter. It doesn't have to be Gaara. It doesn't have to be Tamari. My point is just that could be a cool way to reveal it in the midst of a tragic situation. It's like doing 2-in-1 to where the reveal's the big thing, but like that's not even the focus. That's how important the current event is.
Right. I see what you're saying.
Yeah. Okay.
Backtracking a little bit though, in terms of the one plot point of all plot points you're picking that you're begging to be handled, what's your pick, Oodie?
So I'm afraid that I'm going to have the same one that you are, but I don't know exactly. So I'm not going to choose something that's like a theory or whatever. So I'm not going to choose the 2 Otsutsuki Stone Tablets. I'm not going to choose Shibai or whatever. I'm not going to choose the Byakugo Seal is actually the Karma. But if I had to choose a theory-like one, that's the one I would go with. But the one I am going to go with is more like a narrative story thing. I don't even know if this counts, so tell me if this doesn't count. But I'm going to go with Boruto's characterization. I want to know what the heck happened in the Prophecy arc and everything since then, basically. Everything up to Koji. Even now, his idea about Kawaki. Where has it changed? What's changed with Momoshiki, etc., etc.? Why doesn't Boruto
use the karma?
Just go with what he did before the Code arc? Like, I still don't understand. I want that cleared up. I don't know if that counts, because that's more of a clearing up thing. Potentially, it might be
It doesn't
new,
count for what I asked, but I'm totally cool with that because that's a good answer regardless. Because what I was asking was things that were set up. I don't even think that wasn't even set up. That just happened without explanation.
Yeah.
So, but that's still a good answer regardless. My answer to my question was gonna be those 2 fucking Otsutsuki Stone Tablets, bro.
No,
I am gonna be livid beyond belief if they don't come back to that.
There's just gonna be 2 Otsutsuki we've already seen before, or the fact that the stone tablets are broken is just from a random fight. It's just coincidence. It doesn't actually have to do anything with those 2 Otsutsuki. It's not gonna be anything crazy. Besides, it's already been ruined because Kodachi wrote it in and he's not here anymore. It's already gonna be changed even if they do bring it up.
Yeah, but at least I just want something at this point.
They need to go to the Otsutsuki world or bring us as the readers to the Otsutsuki world. That's what I think they should do.
Well, it's just going to be like the clan symbol or something. It's not even going to be an Otsutsuki.
Because if they were just going to leave it at this and then transition to the whole Shinju thing, like, why even have scenes of like Momoshiki and Urashiki speaking of like higher up Otsutsukis or different Otsutsukis, literally sending them on missions to check on Earth? So it's been confirmed by them, like, bro, there's other aliens out there somewhere. So like, let's see what they're doing instead of just bringing them down one by one to get beat up on Earth. Like, it's been a pattern.
There is a problem in that Kodachi was formerly the writer, and he was formerly heavily involved with the anime. Some of those plot points may have been approved of because Kodachi had something in mind, but because Ikimoto's doing everything now, and he doesn't want to follow Kishimoto's script, he probably doesn't want to follow Kodachi's either. I'm scared, bro. This is why I'm already ready for it. As this manga continues, the anime differences are just gonna annoy me more and more because I don't think they're gonna address half of that stuff.
That would be crazy. No
Like if they the fact that they're even doing this whole Shibai cells is the new like end all be all cure all disease thing. Like Shibai Otsutsuki, one way, shape, or form, whether it's as a Hagoromo figure or like a Kaguya being revived, he's gonna come back into the story. So like if we wait until the next long story short, if the next Otsutsuki we see is Shibai Otsutsuki, I'm gonna be mad. Like I want to see like their world. I want to see like more Otsutsuki, maybe like other Otsutsukis who strive to be like Shibai and failed short, like Ishiki. I don't know. Or maybe Akebi, like Amato's daughter, she comes back as an Otsutsuki. Like that was a plot point. That could have been like something
that has been set up to be a thing.
Like she can come back as a whole new. I would take it. I will take it at this point. Like a whole new. She never been to the land. Whatever. At least she's an Otsutsuki, and she like they do her justice for her characterization and effectiveness to the story. So